Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another exciting episode of This Is Our Life. Okay, this video is going out to two very specific people. And on my old Facebook profile, I sent you a message. I don't know if I sent you a friend's request or not, I don't remember. But I have a new Facebook profile. And your names are Debbie and Frank. Now I will say your last names. Debbie and Frank LaBoone.
Who?
Debbie and Frank LaBoone are dorms in Edgemead in Mineral Wells, Texas, were named for you two, and let me tell you, you two were great people. You know, the thing is, you got to go home at the end of the day. I didn't. The rest of us, we didn't get to go home at the end of the day. I'm opening a package of field points because I bought a cheap on sale target for doing some target practice with the bow. I hope these fit the arrow shaft. Anyway, you two are important in my life. You know, I really don't have anything negative to say about my time in Edgemead. I actually showed my wife Edgemead, well, what used to be Edgemead.
What was left of it?
Yeah, what was left of it. The dorms were, yeah, the dorms were gone, completely gone. The rec hall was, it looked like somebody was living in it, like a house or an apartment or something.
Hotel.
Yeah. And the administration building, it looked like there had been a fire in the administration building.
They got mad sun on fire.
Yeah, could have been. And on my old profile, I have a couple of people on my old Facebook account, a couple of people on my friends list that were not in the Edgemead in Texas, but were in other Edgemead facilities. And yeah, they don't have anything good to say about their experience. On the other hand, that year that I was in Edgemead was one of the best years of my life. One of the best years when between 1972 and 1983, it was one of the best years of those years. Now, since I met that beautiful woman over there, and yes, the tips fit. See, these are field points. These are for target practice.
I'll take that.
Yeah. Um, Before meeting her, since how do I say? Since meeting her, my life has become wonderful. Even the hard times have been good, have been interesting, have been fun, have been going through things with my wife, you know. And I was at Edgemead. I was in Edgemead for about a year, and there were ups and downs in Edgemead. I mean, that's life, you know. You have ups and downs.
It's like a mess.
But it definitely was nothing like Austin. It was definitely nothing like Devereaux. Those were bad, real bad. But you know what? I had that book. Remember you had gone to work for the Mineral Wells School District, I believe, and you had brought me a book, John Paul Jones, biography of John Paul Jones, and when I was discharged, I took it with me instead of leaving it there, and I apologize for that. But you know that was a long time ago. Hopefully, you can forgive me for that.
It meant something to you.
Yeah, well, part of it was I had this thing in my head that, well, if I leave it, somebody's going to steal it, so you would never get it. Well, then I wound up stealing it, even though I wasn't trying to steal it.
Okay, sticky.
Yeah, and if the two people that I found on via Facebook are you, I really would like to be friends with you. You meant a lot to me. Um, I remember in class. Thankfully, we had small classes, very small. Sometimes it was just two of us in a class. Um,
That's tiny.
well, one old boy, he was doing some, how do you say, algebra.
Oh gosh.
And, I'm listening and watching, and I'm like, oh, I can do that. So I don't remember which one of you it was, but said, okay, if you can do it, then here, try it. And I couldn't do it. But it made sense. When I would listen to you explain how to do it, it made sense.
It's hard to do though.
you know. And then in college, I took a remedial math class, which was like pre algebra, and I loved it. Believe it or not, I loved it. But after just 2 or 3 or 4 weeks, it was,
It got hard.
yeah, I just couldn't keep up with it. If the class would have gone a lot slower, I could have kept up, but yeah, it went really fast. And there were like 4 or 5, I think 5 remedial math classes. I took the first one and I was like, but then I took botany for my science requirement, but I took it as a audit student. And um, the same thing, I understood it. I mean, there wasn't anything difficult about, well, actually, the botany class, there was nothing difficult about it. I understood everything. If I didn't understand it, I came to an understanding.
So probably it's different.
Yeah, yeah, definitely different.
Botany, algebra.
Yeah, I mean, science.
Plant is different than.
Yeah, I mean, there's math involved with science, but like my wife just said, it's not the same. I mean, it's science. It's not.
It's a different type of.
Yeah, yeah.
Working with.
So, but now I'm going to my EMT book over there. I'm looking into becoming an EMT. It's no guarantee that it'll happen, and even if I do take the class, there's no guarantee I'll pass. But I would like to be an EMT. But,
Sorry, you're bored.
well, I mean, if we had money to go out and do things, we just don't. But, you know, Mr. and Mrs. LaBoone, you were great people. You were normal human beings. I so wish I would have made level 2 so I could have gone to see John Denver. Do you know how much that would have meant to me?
Why did you have to make level 2?
Well, I made level 2 for 1 week.
Let you do it?
They said if I make level 2 for one more week,
Uh-huh.
they would take me to see John Denver in concert in the Dallas area.
Uh-huh.
But I didn't get level 2 again.
Why
I went down to level 3. I don't know. I don't remember. That was.
Was that in a fight with somebody?
No, it wasn't that. It's just I wasn't meeting their standards.
Oh, crap.
But by that time they were no longer working there. They were working for the school district, the Mineral Wells School District. So.
Somebody else messing with
you. Yeah. So.
They knew you wanted to go, so you didn't let it go.
Yeah, it could have been. But there was no abuse or anything like that in Edgemead. The other places, there's a lot of abuse.
Oh, crap.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of these places, they hire the lowest common denominator.
Was it more mental or physical?
It was mental, physical, and sexual. It just would depend on that day, what was going to happen that day. You never knew. You never knew.
In other words, trashy people.
Yeah. But,
Hired, which is not good.
no. I mean, they had a guy working at Edgemead who was a helicopter pilot for the National Guard or Reserves. He taught General Patton's son, also General Patton, how to fly a helicopter. Yeah, that was kind of cool, kind of neat. But anyway, so Mr. and Mrs. LaBoone, I remember, you would take me out. You took me to the Mineral Wells rodeo, hung out with you at your house. You were good folk. And I'm sure you're still good folks. Good folk. Do I want to go back and relive that time period in my life? No. I'm living my life now. Thankfully, I'm living my life now, and I'm happy. For the first time in my life, I'm happy. But not the first time in my life that I'm happy, but I'm happy. I have a consistent happiness instead of having
ups and downs.
yeah, and a lot of those were downs back in the day. But I would really like to reconnect with you.
Some people
Sure.
think they have a right to make their life miserable when they don't.
You remember Charisse Kirshner, like she would say, how do you say, Kirshner, like Don Kirshner's rock concert. Remember that TV show? That was a long time ago. Um, I saw her on CNN in the 80s, mid 80s, I guess. There's a psychiatrist in New York City named Dr. Pepper. Yes, Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper.
Yeah. And she was in some sort of program with him.
Some cuckoo psychiatrist.
Yeah. And she was in some sort of program with him. And
sounds like the psychiatrist needs a psychiatrist.
yeah. And they were doing CNN was doing some sort of
goofy thing.
So yeah, something. And there she was. You know what? She didn't sound like she. Remember?
Dr. Pepper.
Remember how she used to say hello, 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 hello. How are you? How are you? How are you? Doing. She didn't do that anymore. She was just normal teenager or 20-year-old girl. Early 20-year-old girl. Ooh, that went all the way at my back.
Sorry, I didn't mean to hit you with it. I'm messing with my nails.
But I remember Charisse said to one of you, or I remember which one she said it to, but oh, you have stinky breath or something like that.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah. And we had that.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, we had that talent show. Remember the talent show? And I was going to be the MC, but I kept doing the same thing over and over again. You wanted. But anyway, you were good folk, and I'm thankful I had you in my life.